Hi, I'm Dr. Paul Haefner. Welcome to Sport Psych in a Minute, your weekly resource for insights and tips into the psychological side of equestrian sport. Last weekend I had the pleasure of working with the riders up at Fine Idea Farm in Mount Airy, Maryland, and we talked about how to quiet the inner critic. All of us have within us a voice that's always there to judge, to tell us what to do, what not to do, what we did wrong, how we fell short. Interestingly enough, that voice is really important for us when we're much younger. But beyond the age of 8, 9, or 10, that voice can sometimes be more destructive than it can be helpful, and often shows up in our riding. So what do we do with that harsh inner voice? We talked about a couple of things that can be helpful in dealing with the harsh inner critic. The first is to develop awareness. If we're not even aware that we are harshly critical of ourselves or we have that voice, it's very difficult for us to do anything about it. Awareness then is key. Start to just notice the kinds of thoughts and feelings that are going through our head, perhaps at critical times, like maybe we have taken a misstep in a jumping course or missed an application of an aid in the midst of a dressage test. And pay attention to how we deal with that, what thoughts and feelings come through our mind. Once we have awareness of that, what's really helpful then is to build some distance between ourselves and the critical thought. The idea here being that we are not our thoughts and feelings, we are different than our thoughts and feelings, and by simply taking the stance of observing and analyzing them, we shift how we carry those criticisms inside ourselves. The third thing that we can do is to question those thoughts. Is there any value? Are they true? Or, differently, are they helpful? If the answer to that is yes, there's some element of the judgment or critique that would be helpful to us, then we can take that element of truth and we can incorporate it in our behavior moving forward. If not, one of the things that we can do is to allow that to be, recognize it as one of those critical thoughts that's not particularly helpful, and then finally refocus our attention on what it is that we want to do and focusing our attention on how we want to do it. This has been Sport Psych in a Minute. If you've enjoyed this video, like us, follow us on YouTube, follow us on Facebook, share it with your friends. I look forward to seeing you next week.